What if I told you the most important character at your gaming table isn't the one on your character sheet? Or at the very least, one that can matter just as much, if not more than, any single hero. In most role-playing games, we focus on character progression, gaining levels, learning new skills, finding cool stuff. But there's another more powerful layer that is in many role-playing games called meta progression. Think of it as the advancement that exists above or beyond a single character, something that persists across sessions, characters, and even entire campaigns. So think about it. Does the game you play have a misunderstood or underutilized progression system that you could take advantage of? The easiest way to understand this comes from video games, especially roguelites like Hades and Darkest Dungeon. In both, you do a run. You might die, and you might go back to the start. But the resources you earned let you buy permanent upgrades that make your next run a little easier. That is meta progression. That's the account getting stronger, even when the character in the match might reset. In role-playing games, though, this concept is so much deeper because it's tied to our shared imagined events. It's not just about mechanical bonuses. It's about shifting the focus from a single, temporary hero into something more permanent. This could be the reputation of an adventuring party, the growth of a stronghold, the legacy of a family, and even your own growth as a player. It's an answer to the question, what have we built that will last? The design approach fundamentally redefines what it means to progress in a campaign, turning the focus towards legacy. It's the difference between telling a so-called story of an adventure to one of the world they helped build. So that's the core idea, progression beyond the character sheet. But what does it actually look like at the table? Well, it starts by making the entire party the main character. The group as the real main character. Let's look at one of the popular versions of this approach. Systems where your adventuring party itself has a character sheet and levels up right alongside the characters. In these types of games, the group is a protagonist. The system is designed so that the collective, the crew, the covenant, the company, is the entity that grows and persists. Now, a fantastic modern example of this is Blades in the Dark, a game about a crew of scoundrels in a haunted city. When you play Blades, you don't just make a character, you and your friends collectively choose a crew playbook, like smugglers or assassins. Now, this crew is a formal mechanical entity with its own special abilities, advancement track, and character sheet. Instead of just tracking your character's XP, you also track the crew's XP, which you earn by pulling off jobs that fit the crew type. And when crews level up, you can unlock powerful new abilities, upgrade your secret lair, and hire a gang of thugs. Now, this directly benefits you. Every time the crew advances, each player receives a stash of coins representing their share of the profits. The entire system reinforces the fantasy of running a criminal enterprise by mechanically turning your individual rewards directly into the collective group success. The game isn't about a bunch of random hobos who happen to be working together. It's the birth of and growth of a single criminal entity. The system consistently generates new goals for the players as they fight to expand their turf, climb the ladder of the criminal underworld. Making the crew the main character in such a way is a powerful way to create an emergent story. There's just one thing, though, we always do overlook. Where the heck do these characters live? Building your corner of the world. So your party has defeated the dragon, cleared the dungeon, and now you're literally sitting on a mountain of gold. What do you do with it? What if you could invest the treasure into a piece of the world you get to call your own? This is the core fantasy of stronghold and base building systems, one of the oldest forms of meta progression in role-playing games. Instead of just spending loot on better swords and armor, you use your resources to build something permanent and physical in the game world itself. Now, this could be that restoring of a ruined castle piece by piece, as seen in games like Forbidden Lands, or purchasing a guild hall that grants you political influence. In these systems, the stronghold itself is a character that progresses. Fueled by the wealth of your adventurers, your base grows in size, power, and utility. You might add a blacksmithy to craft custom gear, a library to research ancient secrets, or tall walls to protect you from your enemies. This is powerful gameplay. The dangers of adventuring directly fund and develop the secure and robust home base that you live in. The design philosophy here is twofold. First, it provides tangible stakes in the world, turning you from wandering hobo into landed noble or community leader. Second, it addresses the age-old problem of what do you do with all this gold? By providing a meaningful mechanical supported money sink. This can fundamentally pivot a campaign's focus, though, shifting from pure exploration towards domain management, politics, and defensive play. Building a physical base is a fantastic way to create a legacy, but what if a narrative spans centuries where even the original crew members have long since gone? What if the protagonist is an entire bloodline? playing a bloodline and not a character. So here we are. We've hit the group as hero, but some games take meta progression to an incredible extreme. What if your character dies and you just pick up playing as the grandchild in a world your first character helped to shape? This is the core of generational or legacy games, where the meta progression spans vast stretches of time. In these games, an individual character is just temporary. It's a vessel for a much larger emerging story. Character death is not a failure, it's a handoff. In one example, like Legacy Life Among the Ruins, each player controls two things: a single exceptional character and an entire family or a faction that persists for centuries. One moment you might be role-playing an intense negotiation as the character, the next you zoom out to a strategic level, commanding your entire family's resources to reshape the entire region. One mind-bending mechanic is the turn of ages. When one chapter ends, the timeline might jump forward by decades or even a century. Your character grows old and passes away, and you create a new character from the next generation to play in the new era you just created. This new character might even inherit a powerful relic, a signature item that grants them special skills that they got from their ancestor. Your family can also build wonders, massive projects that permanently change the world map that everyone collaboratively drew at the start of the campaign. The entire game is about writing the history of a world by playing through it, generation by generation. Playing a whole family is an epic way to build a world. Your character, your global passport. Now, we've seen a lot of meta progression from the scale of group to bloodline. Let's shrink it a little bit and focus on the real world. What if your character's progress was so official you could take them to any table with any GM and just keep playing? This kind of happens naturally, but this is the world of organized play, the role-playing equivalent to account-level progress. Now, these officially sanctioned systems that let you develop a single character across different campaigns, GMs, and even countries. The most prominent example is D&D Adventure League, or AL. So here's the breakdown. You create a character using a specific standardized rule set. Every game you play, you track all of your progress, gold, magic items, special rewards on an official log sheet. Now, this log sheet acts like your character's passport. The core system is portability. You can take your AL legal character and their log sheet to a game at your local store, convention, or an online server, and join a table with total strangers confident that your character is valid and balanced with theirs. Progression is highly structured. Instead of the GM deciding on XP, you gain it by completing adventure modules. Magic items you find are unlocked and permanently recorded on your log sheet. You might even earn story awards, persistent narrative tags that you carry over into future adventures. A favor you earned from a faction in a game you played in Ohio could give you a bonus in a completely different storyline with a completely different GM a year later in an online game. Now, this transforms the experience from isolated campaign into a massive interconnected network. So we can track progress for the group, the bloodline, and now the player themselves. But what if the goal wasn't to make your character stronger, but to change the world and make it stronger, leaving your mark and building the world? It's a lot. And we've covered Stronghold, the group, your bloodline, and you, the player, as you count progress. Now, for this final part, let's talk about everything in its ultimate form for meta progression, permanently changing the game world itself. So as mentioned before, this model is designed to create lasting, tangible impacts on the environment. This is living world. One of the oldest ways to do this is by building a stronghold, as mentioned. Instead of just holding the treasure, you invest it into a piece of the world. Remember, stronghold is loose terms here. You might restore a ruined castle, build a wizard's tower, or establish that guild. The base grows, progresses, providing you with income, followers, and a real stake. It shifts the campaign focus, or it can, from just adventuring to defending or managing a home or domain. A more narrative-focused example, though, is the vow system in Ironsworn. Ironsworn lets you swear an iron vow to complete a quest that you create. It's a solo game. This creates a progress track where, as you complete it, you earn XP to get what are called assets. Here, the meta progression is the narrative itself. The world becomes more detailed and rich because you are populating it with your goals and your promises and allies that you make along the way. Ultimately, these systems, the crew, the family, the stronghold, are all about creating legacy. The shift is the focus from temporary hero to persistent group, narrative, or world. They give choices lasting weight, ensuring that a series of events doesn't end when a character sheet is retired. They give us something that we built together that can last. Each of these systems, group, bloodline, player, and the world, offer unique approaches to play. The next time you hear someone on YouTube say, "consequences that ripple throughout the world," or "I run a living world," they could unwittingly be discussing or implying meta progression. So what's your favorite example of meta progression in a game that you might be playing? Does your group actively engage with this aspect of play? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, dislike, or subscribe at your own discretion.